It was not meant for success, because if it was meant for success, it would have been very limiting for me, self-limiting for me. I would have stopped introspecting. I would have got drowned in the success of that one. The biggest thing for me was my mother was an librarian, and the university library at that point of time was very, very huge. The amount of wealth that we amass as an individual, if the banana is going to be amassed by a monkey, will be part of an anthropology study and all. The biggest problem is ego and arrogance. Why a lot of startups are failure is because they get too much capital against what the need is, and that ego and arrogance is one which basically kills out. So if you live in a very documented society, you'll never be a rebel, you'll never be unconventional. अगर वो बाप को पूछता कि मैं बुद्धा बनूं क्या, तो एक झापड़ मारता तो अंदर चले जाएगी.
Very good morning.
Very good morning.
Ashish sir, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege to sit with you this way. I would have sat countless number of times, but every time it's a different experience. And मैंने इसलिए सोचा कि I don't want to introduce Ashish Patil. I think almost it's 2.5 years since I have known you. And every time I talk to you, there is a different version and a facet that I know about you. So I thought that let the viewers also decipher and, brick by brick, or, if how we unravel, then that is a time they will know who Ashish Patil is. A lot of people would know Nalanda in that capital. But Ashish Patil is associated with Nalanda. और Ashish Patil कौन है? वो your close fraternity and circles would know, and they would really love you for that, because knowing you from so close quarters, even I have the same feeling. But a lot of people don't know who Ashish Patil is and the stature. So this, close to 2-hour journey that we will have is where we would want to know more about you, your life, your thoughts, your learnings, your philosophy, and I can go on and on and on. But that will be very minimal that I'm going to speak. I think this is 3-4 minutes. But it's going to be the rest is going to be all you. So if you had to introduce yourself, how would you do it? Let's start from
there. Firstly, whatever you said, I prefer it that way as well. I will not like to feel that someone feels privileged to sit across the table with me. I generally prefer with my friends and all that, I tell them I'm a common man, until it became a quite abused word. But whenever I used to say common man as well, they used to laugh and how say you're a common man and all that. But I used to say that I have very few needs in my life. Then I used to send the needs, and they used to laugh it much more as well. But I used to tell them that this is, unless a person like me has those kind of needs, then how will people benefit as well? So like I say, I tend to fly, not coach it. Maybe if only if it is not available, no coach. I drink fine whiskeys and wines, and I like to splurge on my friends as well. So as a consequence, and I obviously stay at good hotels and like to travel. Then say, how come this is common? But so I say I don't wear branded clothes. I don't wear fancy watches, or I kind of dress for occasion, or have many things that people do with money as well. And I tell them that if you were in my position, I think you would have done much more than me. So that makes me a common man. But it's still a disputed one. But apart from that, as a privilege, I don't think it to be a privilege. I try to be as accessible as possible.
I can vouch for that.
And anyone who wants to have an audience, I'll definitely wish to make time for them. No one should... So like once there was someone to come to meet us in our capacity at Nanda Capital, And then my boss asked that whether it is whether we need to meet. So I said it's not needed. It's not that we are doing any business with them, and I will meet. So you don't need to meet. So he said there was what time hai. So I said मेरे पास time तो है thanks to you, but time मेरा है. कल मेरा time नहीं होगा. And that I experienced in my life as well when I was on the other side of the table. It's very difficult to get time for people who are up the pyramid. So I make a very conscious effort to give my time and attention to people who seek it as well.
Which I do constantly.
Yeah. But sometimes people ask too much,
Which I do.
at all times, which I cannot. I had 24 hours. I hope God had given me more than those 24 hours. But I try to squeeze in as much as possible. So people should not feel that I'm inaccessible or should not associate with me in with any kind of an ego and arrogance. But still mistakes do happen. I hope the Almighty doesn't punish me for that.
So, I mean, you mentioned about Pulak and your boss and Nalanda and how you stayed the course as to when you were on the different side of the table where you were working, and now how times have changed where people seek, right? But a lot of it on the left, what would have happened, would have shaped you on the right, or you were always this way since the very start? Obviously, we change as people, and I'm sure there would be more feathers in your cap and you have learned a lot more things, but some things, they don't change, right? They are born, you're born through it, or you learn at a very young age in your childhood. So was this side of yours always?
Over a period of time, I realized there are few that sometimes you will think that it was afterwards. Sometimes when you do probably ponder over it, you probably figure it out. It was there since quite before as well. So what happens actually is where we stop learning, or where we stop inaccessible, or where we stop exploring, is when we think we achieved something, or we have something, or we have some virtue. So every virtue is actually an ego, and it can bring you success, it can bring you failure. It may bring you success, but it may stop you from looking for anything more than that success as well. It becomes kind of an glass ceiling within which you tend to live, and you don't explore the other side or the other facets that life has to offer. For me, in some sense, I had an elder brother. I have an younger sister, so I'm in the middle of nowhere. And many things I didn't actually had virtues that are associated as we grew up. And while I was not interested in being number one or being gold medalist or anything, or to top the ranks in the school and all that, but I was fairly comfortable with him being number two and whatever, meaning I didn't aspire to be number one.
You were good in studies?
I was good in studies, but it's not like that I would study hard as well. And so also for many things in life, when you look at, say, school and college, kind of a journey, you will see a lot of people are gifted very initially. And that brings in that instant success. And that kind of limits what they would have achieved if they're not got drowned in that particular success. So I had to say that even at Merrill Lynch, I was in midst of people who were mostly IIMs. And at that time, when it was about 2000, which is about 25 years back, a lot of people thought it was a pinnacle of success. You've gone through IIT, you've gone through IIM, you are from ABC, and you're landed into Merrill Lynch. And what better can happen for you from that point of view? But for me, I had a very kind of a rough start to my career, and which I used to feel why it is rough at that point of time. But it was rough for a reason that allowed me to explore much more. You have one question why you went into different, very different hats. But because of that particular rough phase, I started exploring beyond what I had studied and learned as well. And then I realized the nectar of life, that as long as you don't think you have reached a peak or a pinnacle, there is always a newer peak and a newer pinnacle. So I figured out that serendipity was a very strong concept, and it got reaffirmed when in one of the Jeff Bezos letter in Amazon, he basically says that take risk and you will wander in a path where you will find what you didn't even intend to at a much greater level than what you will envision as well. And as you rightly said, some of this thing that digressed me into a lot of introspection. As I started to rise higher in my career, etc., I started to realize what exactly is driving this. And I will tend to think it was more about serendipity, exploring, trying different things, meeting different people, being accessible, learning from everyone who meets me. I started teaching in 2008 when I went to Singapore at SPGen Institute of Management. And I realized that actually I was not teaching, but I was learning a lot from teaching some 20, 30 people as well. So that led me to write the book. Eventually it happened in 2016, 2018, and then 2020 or 2022 as well. That time also, initially, see, when you write a book, you want it to be a bestseller. People should acknowledge it and all that. But so firstly, I could not sell the book. I approached a lot of publishers, and I didn't get a favorable response. There was one, I think, Eastern Economic Edition.
4 books you've written?
4 books. The Eastern Economic Edition, they had, it was in the last phase. But somehow that person's boss changed and they said, what is this and all that. And they basically said, bugger off. And that time I was just, I don't know how, but I got introduced to this concept of print on demand. I forget where it was, but just searching through, I figured out that there is a POD kind of a new concept that had come in. Or maybe I learned it through Amazon, because I was a great fan of Amazon in that time, 2015, 2016. And it allowed me to publish, which actually was my intent to publish it at cost. I didn't want any profit from that. And that time I approached a lot of people whom I knew in education field with various institutes and all that. Hopefully people will buy it. And when you, in some sense, you always want something you do to be successful, which is very inherent human trait. But it didn't happen. And I was little disappointed in that sense. But it actually told me that it was not meant for success. Because if it was meant for success, it would have been very limiting for me, self-limiting for me. I would have stopped introspecting. I would have got drowned in the success of that one. And when you see people who are writing very successful books, the genre doesn't change then. They stick to what has made them successful, and they try to basically milk it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so by that time, I actually learned, for whatever God had given me, that success is not good. So I found that there is a reason why it has not to be successful. And it allowed me to then write the next one, which was on yoga. Then I managed, the initial concept was marrying the yoga principles into the corporate management.
Yeah.
And then I wrote when I just bifurcated into something which was only yoga. And but there were also 100 rupees and 200 rupees, but they didn't sell as much. Except for 100 book, my friend Subhash Sarda from Ideas Engineers, he does yoga even today as well. Or he took yoga since that time I wrote the book. And it was 100 rupees book. So they always used to buy and give it to people, their corporate clients and all that. So it was very easy gifting for him. That is the only reason why it sold probably. And that led me to write the one which is the 2021, which was complete thick. It had everything, valuation, corporate finance, mergers and acquisition as well. That also didn't sell as much. It was quite bulky. By the time I realized that people are not reading books and all that. But we did complete our work in that sense. But in many ways, when I now reflect back, many of the US stocks that I own in my portfolio and where I think had very successful investing is all because of whatever I wrote and discovered during those particular book writings. And as it happens for most people in life, they start in X direction, but they find success in Y spot, very unheralded, uncalled for. And that I can speak about Amazon, then I can speak about NVIDIA. I can speak of many business models where they
Started to do X.
X, but the gold mine was somewhere else. And so as long as you follow a path of exploration, path of I think devoid of any noise, especially and no success at all, I think the journey ahead is much laid with a lot of beautiful flowers.
Speaking about books, you had once told me a very beautiful line that there are millions to be made just by reading your own self.
Yeah.
And this is what you alluded to, that because you wrote these books, you came across some of the US stocks that you own.
Right.
Which I want to talk about, but in a bit. But whatever you stated right now, and there are a lot of things, but one thing I want to ask you that what is success? At the end of the day, it's a question, where your journey with Nalanda successful, your journey investing is successful. Your journey today, what you're doing as a concept with is AAA, successful, right? But out of the three, what would you define as like the success, and what gives you the best satisfaction?
One that sets you off for the next one.
Okay, that is success.
And that is success. You should, whatever you get, you should just pocket it and move forward.
Okay.
Rather than getting lost into
glory,
accolades. The accolades and all that. There's kind of it brings you down. So many, when you look at, say, Nobel Prize, there have been only two individuals who have got this one, two Nobel Prize. Two Nobel Prize.
Two individuals. One is Madame Curie.
One is Madame Curie, and I just forgot the other gentleman who got two. I think I'm not very sure whether there's a third one, but I think it is only two.
Right.
Now, when you look at Nobel Prize, which is kind of the highest that of all the prizes,
absolutely,
because it's very intellectual, it is like you have done something very path-breaking, and some academy sits in Sweden and then they decide and all that is a very rigorous process, etc., etc. But for people who have got that, I believe, if they had not got Nobel Prize, probably they would have done much more than one single Nobel Prize.
Okay.
That's the reason.
It's like whenever कोई एक मुकाम पे पहुंचता है या पिनाकल पे, उसके बाद the quest to do something more kind of dies.
I mean, yeah, you tend to think that this is this is it. Huh? And when you look at, if you study Madame Curie, her life journey and all that, you will see it is so fascinating. That is why she got those two different Nobel Prize.
Okay.
I don't know if she worked for it, but it so happened that she got it.
Yeah.
And to succeed to get a Nobel Prize in two different fields, it takes, means she will have done something very, very well. And you see the simplicity with which she lived her life, and the breakthroughs that she gave to the humanity,
right,
which are non-patented as well, are the reason why she got those particular two.
Slightly,
or let me put it the other way around. A lot of times we aim to have patents and royalties as well.
Yeah.
And so when you derive those patent and royalty incomes, you derive income, but you are limiting your success for the next breakthrough by patenting everything that you have discovered or invented.
Right. So patents are not great. They shouldn't be there.
For people who want to make money, they can. But people who want to have enormous, meaning they want to continue their journey and patent is, meaning they just want to keep doing things,
Yeah.
then they will not. And one of the reason why there is the internet today is because the initial algorithm was not patented.
Right.
It was sold by that Oxford or Cambridge professor just before he died for some 200,000 and donated that money to some Oxford or Cambridge, his alma mater.
Right.
And there is this guy who got Nobel Prize in 2022. He got Nobel Prize for something in electricity. He died at age 96 or 99. And that what Nobel Prize was, there was even path breaking as well. But he's the one who actually invented the lithium-ion battery,
Okay.
which went into 1980s, went into the Sony Walkman.
Right.
And that started the whole journey of mobile phone and laptops and whatever we see today. Even electric cars today is because of that particular concept of lithium-ion battery.
Right.
And he never patented it.
So, yes, just to pick your brain and even prick it at one point in time, because that, can give me an amazing answer. But all the US companies that you talked about filed huge number of patents. But on one side, the thought process says that if you want to do greater good and all, you should not be looking at filing those patents. How would you try to understand that part? Because I'm sure Nvidia would have a lot of patents, so would Amazon have. But then how do you make up for that? Okay, this is one side of capitalism and let it be in this way, but I can have a different thought process.
Yeah, but when you look at, say, Elon Musk, Tesla, one of the reasons why electric cars have taken flight is because they actually gave up a lot of patents.
Okay.
As long as it was not direct competition or something, they opened up all the patents so that the adoption of EV happens much faster and better as well. So maybe it is quite natural in a capitalist society like America to patent and this thing. But America also has great individuals who don't patent as well. The guy who I spoke about, the 96-year-old guy who he was an American. And American companies may be allowing those patent use as well. And obviously they are in corporate world and they have public shareholders. So as you asked me that question the other day as well, maybe they need to protect their interests, but I think they should be subserving the interest by giving those patents or channelizing that into other companies in their own ecosystems as well.
Yeah. Right. You mentioned about Nobel Prizes, and once you reach a pinnacle, then the quest to do something. Perhaps you said if the Nobel Prize winners wouldn't have gotten Nobel Prize, they would have done far better.
In fact, I would have said that, I'm not sure how many people know of a story about Nikola Tesla. Okay. So Nikola Tesla he did AC-DC or DC-AC, something which is the origin of the modern day electricity and appliances.
Correct.
But he died in absolute poverty. He was no one the time he died. He was a great philosopher as well.
Right.
If you see his quotes, you will see why he and again, he never patented that. He never made money, and that's why he died in abject poverty as well. There's some conspiracy theory around he was denied a Nobel Prize by his compatriot. That compatriot went on to found General Electric. We reached the pinnacle of success by a $500 billion market cap. I think the today spread across three entities, maybe $200-300 billion only. And Nikola Tesla, without actually putting his name anywhere up in that particular one, I think has $1.3 trillion in Tesla, 1.3, 1.4. There was Nikola as well, which was a fraud.
Yeah.
But
went up in COVID.
Went up in COVID and all that. So he, without actually putting a single dollar, today lives much more after his living life as well.
So I had a follow-up and again a tricky question because you discussed this in the past and don't agree about Darwin and some of the things he says. But there's one thing about Darwin which is great, that he had a thing about contradicting his own earlier theories and then coming out with something new.
Yeah.
And then, so kind of resonates with this noble thing that you do something, you don't stop there. You may contradict your earlier thing, find something new. So, don't you think Darwin had that special quality in him to do that?
Yeah, he may have. I'm not saying he may have it as well. But if I do say Vincent Van Gogh, he didn't send a single painting in his lifetime.
Which actually came to my mind because you had talked about in the conclave as well.
Yeah.
I talked about Nikola Tesla.
Uh,
That he also never this
sold.
other example also you gave that
there
is
is, which is the highest selling movie for RK Studios?
highest selling movie. Film for which studios?
RK Studios. Highest grosser.
No idea.
No idea.
I think Sholay.
Not RK Studios, not so.
Sholay. Okay.
RK is Raj Kapoor.
Okay. Okay.
Any guesses?
Joker.
Banaram Joker. A complete flop in his lifetime.
Life. Yeah.
And so also Kagas Ke Phool
Okay.
was flop.
Yeah.
Gurudat committed suicide and became successful. So also for Hemant Kumar or Shailendra Singh, Tisri Manzil or Tisri Kasam, that was also completely flop.
Yeah.
But boomed after their death.
Okay.
So when I say this, people say, मुझे क्या करने का after lifetime? मुझे तो अभी चाहिए.
हाँ.
And when you say अभी चाहिए, तो that is self-limiting.
Coincidentally, actually, it's a very big coincidence. Last week I was at a seminar, and this gentleman, Nilesh of Kotak, gave a very nice example of Dr. Subhash Mukhopadhyay. He was the first Indian to create an IVF in India in 1978. For societal reasons, the Indian society didn't accept that concept, and in 4 years he committed suicide. There was a British colleague of his, some Dr. Edwards. Both studied from University of Edinburgh. In the UK, so he was the first to give the first IVF baby to the world. In the UK, Dr. Edwards got a Nobel Prize. In India, this person committed suicide. 20 years later, from University of Edinburgh, some Dr. T.C. Karve from Karnataka found out about this and came up with a second IVF baby in India. And that's when he realized and came across the handwritten notes of Dr. Subhash Mukhopadhyay. And then I think Dr. Subhash Mukhopadhyay was awarded apparently something. Which is, kind of like after that something happens. The second is the Sydney Opera. The architect who built it, architect I think John Utzell, even his life is such that he went into this political battle of regime changes of government in the Australian in Sydney at that point in time. And he himself could never ever see live in person this magnificent structure that sits today, which is iconic to Australia.
Right.
And then his sons. So there's a large part of element why, taking something what you said and then these two examples, there's a large part of success, sir, actually come from being okay with the fact that मैं काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें करूँगा life में, but a lot of things will actually never be seen by me in front of my eyes in this world. And that what is true success, true legacy, that you create impacts once you are gone.
So many thanks to this Dr. Mukhopadhyay. My babies are IVF babies.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So also I think I told you this Dr. 1, Dr. 2 and Dr. 3 example as well. Yeah. And I told you that Dr. 1 will pass through generations. Your grandfather may have received treatment from this noble Dr. 1, and he'll go on to tell his grandkids as well how he benefited from a non-fee asking Dr. 1. That's the power of being free or being able to give what you have as a God-given gift. ultimately everything is God given, whether you believe in God or not, whether you're born in America, whether you're born in India, whether you're born in America, whether you're born in Afghanistan, whatever parents you get, what kind of education you get, what kind of experience in your life, they're all external factors that are contributing to your success. Many people think it is their own effort that they got there, but it's not so. And you asked me that whether we continue, etc. So also when you look at the Vincent Van Gogh story, it was that once his brother took pity on him and he sent his own friend to buy the painting from him, and he realized that it has been sent by his brother. And says Theo. And there is actually the largest documented correspondence in the world between two brothers is actually between Vincent Van Gogh and Theo.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think it is there in the Amsterdam Museum, or it is available now online as well.
Okay.
And very fantastic letters where they've spoken about paintings and the work and all that, etc. So his brother asked him that if you don't want to sell, why you painting? And he says, I'm not painting to sell. I'll painting because I love to paint.
Devotion part.
And so also when we bring it back to our own culture of Mirabai, she loved Krishna only because she wanted to love. There was no end goal to that particular love. And that is why we revere Mirabai as well. So that is what, meaning, jo bhi karo, bhav se karo, prem se karo, dedication se karo. What is meaning of success will be completely different. It will be something which is so pure that it will be etched into history in a very different way that you cannot imagine as well. Right. And some way we associate success with money. I'm not deriding the concept of wealth or money. It is important. But to aggrandize it beyond a certain point is not something that actually brings in value. It brings you wealth, but not the value. And when we look at the equity world, you speak about multiples. So especially in today's world, people who are making no profits but have a lot of growth have a very high multiple than people who are making profits but have a lower multiple. In fact, if you look at from an equity valuation theory per se, the moment the margins and profitability increase, you tend to lower down the multiple because this may not continue in the future. So from a future point of view, try to bring down the multiple.
Right.
And so also when you look at the natural world, the fakirs actually have much better multiple post-life as well compared to people who have got richer. But they don't have any multiple. Meaning there is some respect for somebody who has made wealth or slug it out and created wealth. But
bigger recognition is for the people who have impacted.
How had the ability to create a lot of wealth but didn't create, but created wealth for others. Their multiple is different. They are rewarded even after their lifetime. While when you look at the Forbes list of billionaires, I think when since started about 5 to 6 billionaires only, and none of them has been more than for 3 to 4 years as well. It is a constant change. And beyond what it is today, which is Elon Musk, maybe until going past is Bill Gates. Beyond Bill Gates, you will not remember who has been at the top of that particular list as well.
Absolutely.
Because there will be someone else who will take that particular place. So they will get washed away in the history. So that is the faith of billionaires. And the faith of people who are non-billionaires, who could have been trillionaires as well, but decided not to, their multiple is quite higher.
So when you said this, one thing struck my mind is, I think a month back or so, Jensen Huang said that I am one of those entrepreneurs who's made the most millionaires. As his team members and employees. And I think what you're alluding to, that is real wealth. That, along the way you create for the people alongside you as well, and not just for yourself.
Yes.
So, jogging back slightly and reminding our conversation to the start, something about your childhood, you what I little know about is that you're very close to your friends, that you're still rooted to Aurangabad because you studied over there. Because every time you come to India, at least there is one trip. So would love to know about something on the childhood days.
Yeah, so my father was a professor in the local university there. It's called Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Bangalore University now. And that was 1971, he got a job there. And that time was an era where the government was involved in education a lot. There was a lot of allocation. And they wanted to create a university which was on the likes of the American universities. So this was the first vice chancellor. He was called Barrister Nath, and he had studied in the US, or he was professor also there. He was called on to do this particular university. And I think even today in Maharashtra, probably it is the biggest campus among all the universities in Maharashtra.
Okay.
It is very well spread. And that point of time, it was purely like an American company. Okay, the vice chancellor bungalow was very big. Then there was, it's called as quarters. So the professor quarters, the readers quarters, the lecturer quarters. We had tennis court, we had swimming pool, we had badminton court.
This was when,
1975, 78, I think it got done as well. Okay. And it had... we used to watch movies also. There was a movie theater, there's an auditorium.
Does your movie buff self come from those days?
Not from those days, but there was a cricket ground, there's a football ground, there's volleyball, there was basketball, there was everything there, which as middle class parents who could not, if we were outside that particular campus, I don't think so we'll have been able to afford what that particular university campus gave to us. And it happened to be outside because it was the last tract of land that was acquired outside the city. And so it was outside the city. Obviously, the mobility was not as good. So once we were in, we were like, go to school, come back. We used to be in that particular campus only. And it kind of cut off from the non-campus people. And so we were basically on our own, and it had very good collection at that point of time. We were middle class people with professors being out there. So most of the kids used to do well in academics and all that. So it was kind of a rub-on effect as to who is doing what, who is doing, etc. So we had actually much greater glimpse in what could be a career path compared to people who were outside that particular campus. And so there's a little bit of homogeneity as to with whom we were interacting as well. And the biggest thing for me was my mother was an librarian. And the university library at that point of time was very, very huge. I think it's today huge as well.
Has it had an impact on your reading with that as well?
Yes, too much. My father was a very voracious reader, and he used to read a lot of current affairs as well. And that particular library used to get Time, Newsweek, Life, National Geographic.
And आप सब पढ़ते थे.
ऐसा पढ़ते थे. Meaning that was in 1980s.
Variety of things.
Which I don't think so anyone would have known that this kind of magazines were there.
Sure.
And because my mother was a librarian, actually we are supposed to read there.
But
because the mother घर पे है. And then also written it as well. So, so what happened was, like today, how it is internet, right? Today you have available on the phone if you want to know something and all that. So it gave me a very early glimpse into what the world was beyond what you are living. Yeah. So I had very great perspective from that point of view, as well as so we used to have this summer holidays or the Diwali holidays and all that. So then we used to accompany my mother, and she used to then basically say, go pick up books and keep reading and all that. So a lot of classics we got to read, which I probably would have been beyond any middle class family. We got to read in that particular library. So it has a great impact on me, and it's given me those great friends. Friend, because see, it's a different story, and that's why I kind of a little bit in awe of you and Smith and the school friend groups you had. It's very, I have not seen anyone having had a friendship over the last 40, 50 years. Now it's like nearly 50 years we are friends together. It's a journey that a lot of people don't have. So, like I'm joining our management institute, 9MIMS get together in November. And they called on to say, why you're not joining, why why you're not too active in the group and all that. So when I came in 93, 95 for my MBA, I was so carrying the baggage of what I had that actually I didn't make great friends with my MBA. And so I could not really connect with a lot of people as well. So I'm not active in that group. While a lot of people I actually see they are very close from their MBA class onwards. Then I realized that they didn't had a pre-MBA. I had a lot of things that were pre-MBA and which I did had post-MBA.
I think that homogeneity that you talked about kind of is the culmination that you see today of the thick friends that you have.
Yeah, exactly. That way.
And you did your graduation in Aurangabad?
As I did in Government College of Engineering, Aurangabad. And again, that was... so because a government college, it obviously had different types of... There were reservations and then there was a lot of diversity in terms of the student population there. And that time the private colleges had just started. So private colleges obviously where people could afford the fees that they're getting. So it had little bit of an eliteness compared to the other government college. And it is one of my great, I would say, experience to be in midst of a very diverse, socially diverse students in that particular this thing. There were absolutely people who were from the rural background, people who were absolutely nothing, and they came. My great friend Subhash, he was economically backward. he was a Marwadi, but he was an economically backward. First time I figured out that Marwadi is also economically backward. But while I wanted to be an engineer, but in very first 6 months I realized that this is not what I want to pursue. But those 4 years, I really interacted with people and actually opened my world to a world beyond what could be only a subsection of what we generally interact.
Mm-hmm. You did engineering in?
Mechanical.
So you are a mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
You are an MBA in?
MBA Finance.
MBA Finance.
Then I did, which came first? Then I did CS. Then I did LLB. Then I did CA, the Singapore CA.
What? Acha, I don't know what.
No, I did, Master in CFO Science from this one, Singapore Management University. Then I did CA from Singapore.
So once you migrated to Singapore in 2007, you studied over there also?
Yeah.
Acha.
Because the whole... the serendipity is coming from, what to say that, so when, firstly, I figured out that because I had a rough start to my career, and coming from an engineer, I found MBA to be too shallow. It didn't actually provide you with too much fundamental skills to do it.
And excite
that much. And then I said I need hard skills and all that. At that time I'd approached my friend as to what I should do. I lost out. I didn't get a good placement and all that. So he said you do CFA. That time it was ICFA, Hyderabad.
Right.
And then of course after the dispute between CF and etc. it discontinued. But even at that point of time, it was quite costly for anyone wanting to do 16,000 or something. And he said, you can do this. And I just checked the syllabus and I said, this is not something that I wanted to do. I didn't have money as well. So I figured out that I cannot do CA because I was not a BCom or whatever. Then I figured out CS anybody can do. And it, I think, costed me some 1,500 rupees. 1,500 rupees, they used to give books as well. And obviously it had some legal validity to being a licensee as well. But it was a very fantastic course. There was this subject on tort, which is common law, tort, T-O-R-T.
Okay.
TOT is a common law in UK.
Acha.
That time the jurisprudence, I think even today as well in UK, is there. While there is no written law, it will be decided on common law.
Okay.
Whether you encroach on someone's land or you created a harm for someone or created an injury and all that. And the reasoning was quite fantastic as to how they would have given the justice and all that. And I was very fascinated with that. Obviously, I did well in that as well. It helped me do understand a lot of reasoning. So law is not generally associated with reasoning, but actually is a lot of reasoning and articulation as well. And because I was doing that, and obviously I'm a very voracious reader as well, I used to read India Today quite a lot. And that time the economy had just opened up. 91, 92, right? And I passed out in 95. And by the time the FEMA was coming up, SEBI was already there. And I figured out that the Indian legal system, that one was either criminal law, civil law and Companies Act. While the new securities world that was coming up was SEBI and it was FEMA. And so I figured out that there is actually a niche. Everything is niche at equity. So I could say I could marry finance and legal and create a niche for myself, which no one is. So I'm not, in some sense, competing with all people who are MBAs as well.
Right.
But what allowed me to succeed in eventually with DSP Merrill Lynch and Merrill Lynch afterwards in investment banking, even today, is that I could reason out legality much better. I could find out legality in finance. So it's kind of cross between the two. I could analyze what was legal. I could legalize what was in finance. And that is why I had enormous success in doing things that most people were not able to do because they could not actually understand one or reason out, etc. So I was, in some sense, went on to become a great problem solver. Many people knew that I was a problem solver, so they would come with the problem. I used to give the instant solution, just instant justice, with the kind of this thing I had happened. And that led me to this journey of learning everything, anything and everything at all points of time. So that is what I continued even when I went to Singapore and all that.
But abhi no more course. क्या अभी भी कुछ कर रहे हो?
अभी इतने में कुछ नहीं हाँ लगता है like हाँ
वैसे नहीं. But you did your MBA. After that you did your CS, LLB. So when did you start working? And also one just small thing I wanted to know, that when did you meet Seema ma'am?
अच्छा okay. So actually my first job was after 92.
Okay.
And
You were born in
1970.
70.
So
72. Okay.
1992 was my first job after my engineering.
Okay.
So that time there was just campus placement happening and all that. I was not interested in doing, they are not interested in doing engineering only, but there was some campus placement happening, and that part of it is actually now a subsidiary of VIP Industries or Safari Industries, the luggage one.
Okay.
The brand is Aristocrat, and they have come for the campus interview and all that. I sat and luck would have it that I got that particular job. It was the second highest paying job in our campus after Tata Motors that time. And I was just very amazed as to how them paying so much. But whatever it be, it was that. But what happened was, so I had joined, and there was another colleague, my batchmate who had joined. It was Prasad Saraf. And he was very brilliant in engineering. He was like that time an Elon Musk equivalent in our batch. So suddenly people said, "Ye kahan ja raha hai uske sath?" Because I was never very like a studious or somebody who was trying to make it to number one, all that. But I did join this particular company. That time it was 3,600 rupees per month salary, and I thought
And that is a good salary.
that was very good salary. When I actually do inflation adjusted, it's still not that salary was turned out to be still higher even 2025 as well.
Really?
Yeah. I think eventually when we eventually joined, this happened in Feb, we eventually joined somewhere in April, May, it had gone to 4,000 as well. And I thought, so accumulate some money and finance my own MBA and all that. But in retrospect, and I after left after 14 months, I should not have done that. One reason was that I took up someone's, I should not have done engineering as well, but I think it's probably too young to decide what you wish to do in life. But I should not have done that job. One thing I did disservice to my employer. And the other thing is I took up job from someone else who probably would have continued with that company as well.
Yeah.
And so how serendipity works is that when I'm the employer now, when some people leave, when come and just leave, I say, "Ye kya kiya hai?" You know, when I say, "Oh no, I also did that," but you don't realize. So when you look at your own journey, you feel, "नहीं, मैंने तो सब ठीक किया. I done nothing wrong. मैं तो सीधा स्वर्ग ही जाने वाला हूँ." No red light in between.
True.
But when you actually dig deeper, you figure out that many things you have done is the reason why. So obviously, my aim was to get into IIM. I didn't get into IIM because of that. Because I put in two legs on two different stones. So मेरा भाव नहीं था. Neither I could give भाव to the job that was supposed for which I'm getting paid. Neither I could do how to studying myself, etc. But still, it was 14 months were quite good. I had about 100 workers working for me. And
Which department you were working in?
I was in production. And because this was mainly this thing, so there was people who were laborers and all that, etc. मैं पैसे ही बांट देता था. मैंने कोई लोन चाहिए, दिवाली चाहिए, दसरा चाहिए, सबको देता था. मैंने लगा IIM में लग जाऊंगा पैसे देके.
So I want to come to that concept of giving.
Yeah. But that time it was little bit this thing. Like I used to do one-to-one. Maybe मैं किसी का मदद कर दूंगा, मेरा तो लग चल जाएगा, मैं अहमदाबाद पहुंच जाऊंगा वगैरह. It didn't happen that way, but it was great. And that time, none of my friends were employed as well. But the Friday used to be holiday there. In that, every Friday used to party. It was my own money. तब से मैं दोस्तों को खुश रखा है. Eventually, I took some money out to pay for my own MBA afterwards. But that was first.
What do your friends have to say of this side of yours? Of you spending on them? I'm sure they would feel happy, but there would be something they would be.
Definitely they're happy.
Yeah, but
I don't know what is their inner thoughts. Obviously, they will say they're happy. Will not want to have someone spending on them like this. But yeah, but I think they have done a greater service to me than self because of this kind of a steady friends. I have benefited a lot as well.
Yeah,
I received a lot of love and adulation from them, and in some sense, they have shaped me. Money is not involved. They have shaped me in many ways. So I don't want to belittle their contribution by saying only I had done for them. I think they had done a lot for me as well in return. That is why we are friends today. I don't want to put money factor to that. And we are friends even after 40-50 years. That's the greater outcome. In 1995, I kind of joined one small firm that time was called SM Finance. It went bankrupt, I think, in the time I was about to marry.
How did you meet Seema?
So she used to work there, but we were in different office.
In SM Finance.
SM Finance. Her sister was actually used to work. And, we are actually from the same so we got to know each other. And then she was very happy. I'm from the same place. Belgaum is called Belgavi now. Okay. So one thing led to another, etc., etc.
It's a love marriage, right?
It's a love marriage.
Okay.
So that is where it happened in 1997. The day I took the key, the mortgage letter from SDFC is the day where I got fired.
This is before marriage.
2 or 3 months away from marriage.
Okay.
But I didn't tell her that I got fired and all that. Not that I was this thing. I just wanted to be with myself. At that time, it was very socially very this thing as well. Not so this thing get fired and all that.
Even today it is.
But it is quite a common knowledge कि होता है. हाँ, तभी नहीं होता है. And so I just wanted to buckle down myself, take it on the chin and move forward as well. And the 7 December 1997, we got married. And those were hard times. But 23 Feb 1998, I joined L&T Finance. And there was one person who used to work with SM Finance was called Mr. Chatterjee. And I had no this thing, meaning he was not close to me or anything. But he from somehow connected with his friend called Suresh Vishwanathan in L&T Finance, and he said, "Go isko lene ka hai." And I got a job that time in L&T Finance in 1998, and that is how it started. Then, but by that time, I was very sure that I want to make it big. And the loss of job had made me kind of saying, कि वापस this kind of situation should not reoccur in my life as well. And so I decided to reinvest into myself, reach a position that this doesn't happen again. And so this thing was, I should make it either in Merrill Lynch or Women's Style. That was very clear. And then I started
investment banking side.
Investment banking, huh? And then I so because this thing was that you had to be finance and legal, you could break through in one of those bags. That was this thing. And but I joined L&T Finance. I had a very terrible boss. He was called Mr. Money. And he used to literally, meaning it was February 23, 1998. I left, I think, August or September 99. So there will never been a day where you would have said, "Teru ghar bhej dunga." And I never got an Employee of the Month award or whatever reward and award. That also made me think that awards are not good. That I used to feel bad, mujhe kyun nahi mil raha hai, but I think it was the best thing to happen. A lot of people who got awards that time, I don't think they're doing anything great in their life right now. And people who have said this thing, I'll come to the Merrill Lynch situation as well. So I had a very tough time initially in Merrill Lynch as well. At that time also a lot of people said, "I'll fire you" and all that. Everyone who has said, "I'll fire you" has got fired. Everyone has gone no.
Except you.
Except me, yeah. So it's a very, this thing, that one should never make ego and arrogance as an element of their personality. And it's a downfall. It's not only for personality, but even for companies as well. They lose out where they are because of ego and arrogance. So, he was to fire me, but I used to just take whatever, etc. I used to do whatever work. I do a lot of menial work as well. I'll not go into that as well. But I never said no to work, and I did whatever was asked me to do as well. But I just kept to myself. I didn't, meaning I didn't tell him that I'm under tremendous pressure and all that. I will not bore you with the intricacies of it. But I was very sure that
You didn't even tell her you were fired.
And I had not told her.
Or you later told her after
After our marriage, you told her. Then I was very concentrated on getting my CS done, so I could apply for jobs and all that. And it eventually happened that I left with only the last 4 of the CS. Then I went to this Mr. Money and said, "I need job." I had said I need leave. Then he said, "How you come here to study?" And he said, "You'll not give me." But I had one good boss, Dipti Advani. I think she's now with Sapoji Palonji. She was, and obviously because she was a lady and a mother, she got me 4 days leave. But she said, "Ashish, you come back on Friday, huh? Bilkul ye mat karna." I said, "I will in 4 days," and I kind of leave through those 4 days, because I had to escape. And those 4 days I studied, etc. By 5th day I was very fatigued. So Siva told me, "Why you going? We'll make good food at home, etc." But phone aa gaya, "Ghar pe kidhar hai?" And I ran back to the office. I used to stay at Nala Safar then. But when office I kisi ko padi bhi nahi thi. And actually February of that year, 1999, there was actually in the Ascent, there was an advertisement that they need an executive who had finance and legal experience in Merrill Lynch. And I said, this is what I wanted to be and all that. And after July or August, the results came out. and obviously had passed. I bumped into one of my colleague. He was with Kotak and I just joined ABN AMRO. And I said to him that I passed and I want to look out for a job. So he first said that Kotak is looking for these things. You send me your CV. So I did my CV immediately and sent it out. I didn't got any response from Kotak, but he said that he had just joined ABN AMRO and his one colleague, Ashwini Kapila, I think he's with Barclays now. So he had also joined, and he said he had a friend who was saying from Merrill Lynch, who was DS Merrill Lynch, he was saying that they need someone with this kind of profile. And I resent that particular CV. That email had just started that time. That Yahoo address is still with me, and I sent it to him. The next day I got a call for an interview. I had 10 interviews. 11th was with the then boss, Mr. Amit Chandra there. In the morning, Monday morning. Sunday, I said to Sima that we are going to get a job in Merrill Lynch. We are fine. We are going to fly. There's no budgetary constraints now. Kitna pagar milega? So I said, no pagar. This is a big company. So I think they will have, it's a US company. So there's a good salary on that. But it's a different story that they didn't have any this thing, etc. 20 का 25 लो वगैरह वगैरह ऐसा करके वो that journey started. But again, as I said to you, all hardships are God given. It's actually much more than
सुख और दुख.
सुख. हाँ, दुख ईश्वर का ही प्रसाद होता है. I learned a lot of things. It helped me stay grounded and eventually allowed me to bloom only when the time arrived, which was post 34, 35. Otherwise, most people get lost in initial success. So success came late and it came in the late time. And that is when we actually see with a lot of initial success like sports, or you look at acting or media and all that things, that your initial success doesn't continue, and then obviously a lot of people lose out because they haven't developed any other skill or any other trade as well. So from my point of view, maybe I think when people say they didn't get success, if it comes little delayed, is actually in much better position to handle than having it early in life as well.
So I remember this 34, 35 part, and I think it was 6 months back you and I were talking about something. And I think I was low about something, and you told me about I was low about something. And that point in time, we were having a conversation, and you said, don't worry. The way 34, 35 was pivotal for me.
Right.
And that will be pivotal for you as well in your life. So I kind of recollect that part. And now also you said about 34, 35, say then your real growth.
Right.
So 1999 till 2007 with Merrill Lynch until Nalanda.
Yeah.
8 years.
8 years, sir.
Okay, so where you learned quite a lot of things on
Yes.
the ground, everything. Now comes Nalanda, which I think I had asked you that out of your great investment successes in the US, Nalanda or SA, which is your contemporary thing even now, what gives the most satisfaction?
No, everything is satisfying.
So obviously, one led to another.
Yeah, let's
Sure, but this is one thing which gives you like, नहीं ये किया ना तो यार बहुत अच्छा लगा.
See, having lost my job myself, and then given the kind of success I had, and I had very big this thing that one good job can really turn fortunes of a family, maybe 10, even 100, depending on an individual. So when you look at only from a perspective of spreading, so I think that was not Jason Wang. I think it probably was Jim Bezos that had shared with you as to how many millionaires you have created.
Jason Wang.
Jason Wang.
He said a month back.
What is Jeff Bezos?
First could have been Jeff. Now after
No, that's okay. Yeah. He said millionaires.
recent millionaires, he said I had created
Right.
from the ESOPs.
From the ESOPs, exactly.
Yeah.
So when the most valuable company CEO says as well, hopefully we create, I don't think we'll reach there, but even if 100 people are able to have a good career path, I think that will be more satisfying.
So the SA part
Yes.
is way better.
Yeah.
And I don't think so. आपको ऐसे बोलना चाहिए you reached there because I once remember we talking and you saying that you didn't even kind of envision आप यहाँ तक पहुँचोगे.
हाँ. नहीं, मैं कहाँ तक पहुँच जाएंगे पता था, but
इतना जल्दी यहाँ तक पहुँचोगे.
इतना नहीं, I will इतना जल्दी. I just wanted to do it, and I did had a plan. So that's why meaning even she must say, how can you do something without a plan? All that. I said the idea is to do it without a plan. So
And I think you have taught me that planning is of no use.
planning is of no use.
And coincidentally, I read something that we all prepare a plan, but nobody is prepared for chaos.
Nobody's prepared. Yeah, exactly. That is what you had shared with me.
हाँ. So after you told me कि planning वगैरह क्या होता है, and a lot many hours get wasted of great corporates and all.
स्वर्ग को राजपथ नहीं जाता है,
मैं actually
पगडंडी जाता है.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
Okay.
The road to heaven is unheralded. हाँ.
मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन में बोलना भूल गया. मैंने लिखा है कि आप कई बार चीजें बोलोगे ना तो मैं बोलूँगा इलेबोरेट और समझाओ जरा. जो बहुत बार होता है ये समझता नहीं है.
Pagdandi means side road.
Okay.
It's not a laid road. It's not a paved road.
Right.
So it's a very unheralded this thing.
Under-scout.
Jungle. Meaning you have to then sift through the trees or stones, etc.
Make
Like
your
that.
way sort of it.
It is never a highway.
Okay.
Or even a good paved road will not have flowers. It's only an unpaved road will have the wildness of the flowers.
Yeah. So the beauty kind of
The beauty kind of thing. Sir.
place. So now coming to Nalanda. But when we talk about Nalanda, we talk Nalanda, impact of Nalanda, and how it actually it was your one of the biggest turning points in your career. The philosophy, psychology confluence that you have today, that you bring constantly in all the conversation, and the investments in US, China, which were complete. Today everybody talks about them, but when I think you started in 15, 16, very few even understood them. And you told me that you gave a lecture in one of the very reputed university in 17. I don't want to name, but nobody understood what you're
No, exactly.
because I think as much as till Nalanda has been the journey that shaped you, but I think the last 18 years have been very fascinating from whatever I hear, where you started reaping the fruits of those in early days.
Definitely, I have written in my first book as well. Nalanda has been a temple of learning, and more importantly is unlearning. Unlearning of a lot of garbage that I'd learned earlier, especially coming from a very aggressive and very capitalistic model like an investment banking. To investment also is the same, but Nalanda has been different. It is all because of my boss. The way he created Nalanda, the way he kind of shaped it, the way he had envisioned it, the way it has created a name for itself without actually spending on any publicity or etc. A lot of people want to do it the other way around, but it just gained currency by the way it was shaped and evolved as well. So that kind of and anyway I had this in some sense element of trying to understand what has happened, why it has happened, and what else in the future and all that it can happen that way. So it allowed me to actually think much bigger, much larger. I started teaching as well. That was a bigger thing. I started writing as well. I took to yoga as well that time. Then I took to in some sense, Singapore also opened my eyes to a multiculturalism, and the way the founding father of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, thought about how to shape a nation and all that. How harmony is important in a society. How the harmony is a big part of Nalanda as well. That allowed me to think much harmoniously, let me say. And one thing led to another. So the whole, even the concept of Sa has actually come out from when I used to do the lectures. I used to the concluding lecture I used to speak a lot about something that I have spoken right now as well, including I used to make people. There's one slide which used to be of Paul Getty, Rockefeller, where the first billionaires in the world. Nobody used to recognize that.
And Nizam.
Then used to be Nizam.
Yeah.
Then used to be all saying that people used to recognize immediately as well. Then I used to. I'm a great fan of Raj Kapoor as well, and so
Because he loved his craft and
he actually where Hina got done after his death, and his sons wanted to, as a legacy, wanted to do Hina, but the problem was Hina didn't had a script
okay.
because all Raj Kapoor's scripts were in his mind.
Oh, okay.
And that is how he has made his films. And his films were a lot of unity, harmony. It had always had a very socio-economic message. All his films had a socio-economic message. And so a lot of people, you make an art film which has a social message. You can say Earth, you can have all those, that time Govind Nihalani, Shyam Benegal, Satyajit Ray and all that. But only few people used to watch them because this thing is art film. Of course, they were great message films as well. But he had developed that knack of creating a socio-economic film.
Okay.
A social issue, but wrapped around economics as well. So a lot of people watch it. I'm not sure whether they take the message home. Satyam Shivan, Sundaram, Prem, Rog, all those films as well. So I thought that there should be something socio-economic. And so a lot of it I will be like is non-profit. As in non-profit. ऐसा नहीं है. You want to make a lot of profits, and obviously with a lot of social distribution and all that.
But we want to distribute it to the team members.
Exactly. So create a social impact with economic as well. Don't do an NGO and all those very stereotypical things. Philanthropy में कर रहा हूँ, मैं इधर दे दिया, मैंने उधर दे दिया, etc. So those things emanated from while speaking actually about Raj Kapoor in one of those lectures. That I should do something like that, which is very socio-economic and creates a bigger impact.
Okay. So
also when you look at the companies which go high up the valuation, especially in the current age and time, are people who actually have a very socio-economic impact.
okay.
So the tech companies is actually the socio-economic impact is too huge. That is why those valuations are haywire. If they are only making an economic impact, they will be in the bottom or in the middle. It is the socio-economic impact of whatever they are doing is the reason why they are having those kind of valuations.
So we'll come to that in a minute. But some things like Pulak has written his book, and quite a lot he's told about the philosophy and all. Or whatever interaction I have had with you, and the thing that he started, that a lot has to be done by how he thinks or how he perceives Nalanda. Some facets of Nalanda which are not written in the books, not many common men know, but they really made a moment where you looked up to him. That, oh wow, such a kind of a thing exists.
There is No Rules book by Reed Hastings.
Right.
The Netflix. That is No Rules. I think Nalanda is Zero Rules.
Okay. Nothing by the book.
No rules at all. Zero. Whenever Netflix was a bigger company, but it's a creativity company. I mean, it's is saying that there is some rules also. But Nalanda is zero rules. Like the people used to come after the COVID and has to ask, So how you guys adjusted to work from home? You say we had work from home from start only. So those kind of things. It is a very different. I mean, I haven't seen anyone running a company with that kind of this thing, with that kind of minimality.
Do you think it's a lot to do with in our profession of investment? And when I say our, because even we come from that, trust becomes paramount. But it starts with first trusting your team members and your team and having no rules. Then you can create an organization around trust. Does it come from there?
No, it doesn't come from that.
Okay.
No.
What does it take for anybody to build such an organization?
Trust only.
Only trust. Okay.
Only faith.
Only faith.
Only Kapil Dev had a faith that he's going to win the World Cup.
Okay.
He didn't had even an element of doubt that we will not win.
What is more powerful, trust or faith? Or are they two different
Faith.
things? Are they the two same things?
I don't say I have, a lot of people say I have trust in you. It is to say that I have mistrusting you. Start. So faith, you don't say I have faith in you. Faith is a very, a much deeper concept, etc. Because faith we associate with whatever religion we follow, or we follow a certain principles, etc. We don't say we trust a religion. We say I follow a certain faith.
Yeah, so you have faith in a religion. It's something to do with one is a mind, one is a heart sort of a scenario.
Trust, when I say I have trust, means it is coming from here. Faith is here.
It's more of the heart.
Yeah, more of the heart.
Right. So Nalanda is a confluence of both.
Yeah, it's complex.
That is why it has verified the test of pairs.
Yeah.
Today, you would be the largest FPI in the space.
In the mid-cap space, yes.
Even today?
Even today, huh?
And still growing.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about investment and value investing. I was recently at a seminar and I shared with you that now when people talk about Darwin, the second thing, at least in India, they talk about Pulak's book. So that has been the kind of
the Bible.
I would say, how would one talk about Darwin and the next thing they would say that Pulak has written an amazing book on it, please go. लोगों ने डार्विन नहीं पढ़ा है, पर लोगों ने वो book पढ़ा है. But knowing you personally, your thought process and style at times is different than Nalanda Capital. So you can throw some light on your thought process and how did that come and how it shaped you.
पता नहीं, मुझे I would say it's little wider to say that, but मुझे हरे हुए घोड़े पे बाजी लगाना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. हाँ, meaning it will sound little wild or raucous from that point of view, but मुझे क्या बोलते हैं इसको, I find empathy in someone who is in difficulty. Maybe I've gone through a lot of difficulties in my own life before where I reach, etc. तो मुझे बहुत I had that this thing, and it has, I've seen the wonders out of having done that, and that is why for me, as I told you, there's no concept of margin of safety.
Yeah.
So that's the level of divergence.
Everything is risk.
Everything is risk.
So it stems from your initial journey,
Initial journey over a period.
But how did that shape where investing style becomes so different? Because वो हारा हुआ घोड़ा जिस पे आपने हमेशा बैट लगाया वो जीत जाता है.
हाँ.
8 में से 10 भी.
हाँ.
वो there would be something in that हारा हुआ घोड़ा which would make you put in, right? What is that?
The someone is obviously from an investing point of view is someone who has the conviction in oneself, and वो क्या होता है कि एक there is a conviction, and there is one this thing, क्या बोलेगा उसको, energy, ऊर्जा. There's conscience of the person who is who either leading the company or the Hareva Goda and all that. That creates that kind of an environment for it to win. So in some sense, what happens is that undefined inputs is undefined output. Defined input is defined output.
Right. And most other people operate with defined.
The defined input and a defined output.
Yeah.
If you actually want the undefined input to the undefined output,
Right.
that is only that way. And there is only, in my own experience, after that, there is only one rule. Risk and return are proportionate.
Okay.
You cannot say I'll put defined input and get a undefined output. That is never going to happen.
That is a short-term arbitrage, which will eventually mitigate itself.
Yeah, but it will not be undefined output.
Undefined. Yeah. It'll have a
Arbitrage you are seeing on that particular day. So your financial engineering will produce only so much that you will be generating.
Yeah.
That way.
Understood. So, I mean, I've learned in the last 2 years, since 2.5 years since I met you, मैं आपको मिला हूँ, that my entire thought process on investing and how I view companies, what I look in companies, has completely changed. My thought process behind margins has completely changed. पहले margin used to be a function of, you used to think your own ability to negotiate. You made me realize that margin is actually a function of a great product, a great service, or a value add you do to the customer. And in the conclave also, you talked about customer is God. Can you list down certain these kind of things that are, which are very different than what are written in common knowledge right now in a value investing framework, where we will value profits, we will value margins. Cash flow is what we will not talk about, because people will say, "Arey yaar, ye Zomato to loss making hai." But people will not see the cash on the books or the operating cash flow. And it's a very different mindset that you need. Coming from Nalanda, who is into value investing, but you having these principles also, which is very starkly different. What are these principles that you swear by when you look at a company, or those horses जो हारे हुए होते हैं, but actually में वो underneath कुछ धूम मचा रहे होते हैं?
Okay, so I think it's better explained by this Doctor 1, Doctor 2, Doctor 3 business model. So Doctor 1, Doctor 2, Doctor 3 are of equal competency. They're not undercutting each other or etc. etc. Their competency levels are the same. Only thing is their business models are different. So Doctor 1 is someone who is with the Hippocratic Oath. The second one has a rate card. The third one also has a rate card but needs payment in advance. Okay. So suppose say your friend has moved from some place to Mumbai, and he has problem in the middle of the night, and he calls you and asks, give me reference of doctors. I am having a particular problem. So you give him numbers of Doctor 1, Doctor 2 and Doctor 3. So he calls up Doctor 1. The doctor is about say midnight or so. So Doctor 1 says, the problem looks serious. I am starting for your home. You can give me your address. Your friend is again an MBA into value investing, risk management and all that. So he thinks that this one is looks very someone mercenary, because he has not spoken of the fees, etc. And he's just starting for his residence. So that's he says, please tell me how much fees you're going to charge. So he says, it's my duty as a doctor to treat you, and you can pay me when you get well, and you can pay me whatever you want. So this is very alien kind of a business model that your friend has seen. So he calls up the second guy. The second says, okay, this will cost you say 5,000 for the house visit. And this for the problem you have said. If the problem is much bigger than what you have said, then obviously the charge will vary, and you have to pay me as soon as the treatment is finished. If you agree, then I'll start. Then he says, this looks little palatable. Then he says, अभी third को भी कर लेता हूँ because दिया है. So the other guy says the same thing as doctor 2, but he says you have to pay me in advance. And once I receive the notification, I'll start for, etc. So he gets very confused from 1 to 3, very different business models. He calls you up and asks which doctor will recommend for treatment. So in my analysis, or in my experience, when I post this, so people who come from a very risk management kind of background, they go with doctor 2 because the parameters are completely outlined here. Doctor 3 is obviously asking in advance, which a lot of people don't want to give. And 1 is not putting a price, so the thing is very wavered and all that. So कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. It looks very alien compared to the modern management world or principles of risk management that we are seeing and all that. So unless you are a little bit evolved, you will take doctor 1. Most people take doctor 2, and I have rarely seen someone taking doctor 3. Now, when you apply back to the modern management, and if you turn doctor 1, 2, and 3 into listed companies, and you come for someone who is value investing to invest into, the doctor 3 becomes doctor 1 because he has cash flow. He has ROC, he has everything, jhakma kar diya, chain mana diya, and all that. Doctor 3 becomes doctor 1, doctor 2 stays doctor 2, and doctor 1 becomes doctor 3. Right. Because uska whatever you said about Zomato or anything else, etc., uska kuch dikh hi nahi raha hai. Okay? Then again, what happens is the friend that had sought your advice, he actually is having a problem in life. He's in terminal stage of his life, assuming that wife is not there. And he has 2 kids who are 3-4 years away from becoming guardian. Becoming major. And this friend has worked very hard. He has created certain corpus. Now he wants to hand it over to a guardian who will take care of the kids, teach them the right values so they can take the corpus and build it as well. So he comes back to you and asks, now original 1, 2, and 3, who should be the guardian? Of people who had said doctor 2 for the treatment, I seen 90% of them actually choosing now doctor 1 for the guardian. Very 10% they still stay with the doctor 2, saying that doctor 1 pata nahi, it comes to corpus, he has to manage and all that. Ye uda dega paise, and maybe the kids will not get the money and all that. But then I had to, there's slight disconnect here. Actually, the most identification of the duty is with doctor 1. He is with Hippocratic oath. If he has taken someone's guardianship, obviously he will know that that is not his money to play with. And obviously he's going to, someone who is so nirmal and so pure, obviously he's going to bring up the kids in a much better fashion than someone who is practical. The doctor 2 will also say that I'll charge asset management fee as well for being a guardian, all that. That doctor 3 will not lift the phone as well because it's beyond his opportunity cost and all that. So in life where you trust your kids, is the real wealth, is what is the actual value in a sense of the real world. But when you look at companies which are rocking on the exchange, are companies which had a big element of freeness into their business model. Now whether you take an Amazon, whether you take an Meta, whether you take a Google, where you take to, or was that, Netflix as well. So I had 5-6 companies I can say as well. So where the value is created for the customer is where the value of the companies will grow higher. And where you have the doctor 2 are the pharma SMG companies where it's fully structured. That this is the margin I need to charge, this is the profit to make, this is the dividend I need to declare. So you move into a very structured manner. The doctor 3 are people who will take the money in advance and do it as well. So whether it can be jewelry companies, it can be real estate companies, wherever the slosh of cash is upfront, where they think they have control over the customer because customer doesn't have any bargaining power, they lose it anyways. They don't get a very high multiple. Now whether you look at oil companies, whether you look at any companies which are slosh with capital, they actually don't get a very good multiple.
Right.
The doctor 2 will get some multiple in between Doctor 1 and 3. Doctor 1, the multiple is enormous. So also when you probably say why Apple or etc. they're not in the free, but you have to also adjust for the kind of pricing that they're offering and kind of value that they're giving to the customers as well.
Okay.
When you look at an Apple store,
Right.
I may be a labor or working as a labor as well on the road, but I can still walk into an Apple store.
Right.
Right? As a labor, I cannot walk into a Louis Vuitton store.
Right.
And that day he feels he can go to an Apple store. He can touch an Ultra 3 watch, he can touch an iPhone, he can touch an iPad. He may not have the wherewithal to buy, but he still has the ability to give someone an access to the iPhone, etc. That is how many you have to look beyond just the free model as well. What value a particular company is offering to the customer or the ecosystem that it is currently dealing with.
So this stems from the fact where it is unconventional, right? Because
it is unconventional, it is abstract, and
to make this a reality, I need capital.
Yes. So what happens is a lot of people put the cart before the horse and say, I need capital to do a business. So like for me, a lot of people come and approach me that I need capital to do business. I said, if your business idea is predicated on I need capital to do business, it's not a business idea at all.
If you can elaborate.
So any business idea that will flower is the intellectual capital behind that particular business.
But then to make it a reality,
you will get capital along the way.
Okay. You'll attract it.
You will attract it.
Okay.
So a lot of people go and want capital to do business. That means that business idea is not as powerful or as good for it to generate capital on its own.
Understood. Idea should be so good that it kind of...
Yeah, it will attract capital on its own.
Okay, and you will get ultimately.
You will get ultimately. Anyone who has... where the greatest of success stories are people who actually had to fight for capital. And their capital came in and then it rocketed like that.
Okay.
And you had, the Segway.
Right.
It attracted the most capital.
Oh.
He refused as well. What was the biggest flop in the entire this thing as well?
Yeah.
In a startup kind of a scenario.
Understood.
Because it become too egoistic to handle that particular business model.
Understood. I just asked you what...
I mean, it is, in some sense, the need for capital, a lot of people think it is distressing, but it is the good problem to have.
Right.
Because it makes you think much more, and it makes you organize much more.
Yeah.
You are a little bit more...
aware about things.
Obviously, you don't get into ego as well.
Yeah.
The biggest problem is ego and arrogance. Why a lot of startups are failure is because they get too much capital against what the need is. And that ego and arrogance is one which basically kills off even though your business idea may be great, but the overarching capital is the reason why they actually lose it midway.
So you think this landscape is changing slightly in India now?
It is changing big time.
No, when you see Zomato and all this.
Yeah, in fact, I actually see the most, the internet-facing kind of business models which are unconventional, business model which seem to not make this thing on the financial statements make sense, but they're making sense in societal terms, etc. Whether it is Zepto, whether it is the other Urban Clap and all that, etc.
Yeah.
So those are the business models which are in India are receiving kind of a high multiples as well. Right. So it is changing as well as. So you are asking me what we should see in particular business model, etc. Firstly is the conscience, which is the Dr. 1, as pure as possible.
Are there any pure companies or is relative?
It is relative. But concretely also I said, spoken about Satya Nadella, I spoken about Tim Cook as well. You look at Jensen Huang as well. You don't see that arrogance when they speak about their companies or the business model of their $3 trillion, $4 trillion.
Right.
Very few crore market cap companies. You have very different kind of founders gloating about their market cap, etc. You see them and man at work.
Yeah.
They're not worried about what the market cap is or how much money they have made, billions and billions as well.
Right.
So that is one thing. The second thing is once you start digging in, you will get some element and sense of whether the business, the underlying business has the ability to compound. The inherent thing has to be that whether the business model has the legs to run. It may not generate whatever it is required to generate in terms of conventional profitability and all that, but the growth is essential part of any business model. If you are able to judge whether this will be something that will grow in the future, then certainly everything will fall in place as well. With no growth, you won't attract capital. Even I may have profitability, I will not get the capital.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that. So growth is very essence of our life. Every day we have to grow as a person, as a human being, as companies, etc. If you had growth of 25% in 2025 and 2026 you are 10%, you say growth nahi hua. You'll feel depressed at growth. So growth is very essential inherent element of our daily life, and if the companies are not growing, it will not generate. So you have to have that ability to understand whether the underlying business models will have a growth, and that will come in. One is obviously the growth will come only when somebody has the ability to take decision and take risk with respect to take the model the next level. The third is whether they are investing enough
Okay.
in creating that particular growth path as well. A lot of the very weighted fact of most companies are whether they are investing enough. A lot of people want to do a free cash flow because that is how the DCF is made.
Right.
But investing cash flow is where the whole element of growth and the next level of value will come in. It is very under research, under weighted, and under given as in multiple as well. The moment somebody says I am going to do an X amount of millions or billions of capex, the market will tend to shoot it down. But there is the reason why it will go in the future as well. So a very good opportunity is to invest as well, because markets don't like someone who is doing that kind of an heavy investing as well. Today Meta is what, 750 or something, etc.
Yeah.
$400, $500. I think from one day from 500 it went down to 400 one single day, because it was saying that we have $100 billion of capex this year. Although from Meta's point of cash flow point of view, it was not that big in a percentage term, but the absolute number was high that way. But today it is at $700, $800 as well.
So, US by far has been your favorite market.
Yeah, but it's a growth market. Yeah.
And
Nasdaq has very few years of having a negative return as history as well.
yeah. So, once you had told me, and there's one conversation with you which I always remember, and it's actually an 8-minute conversation if I read through the chat, and it's one of the most enlightening one. But before that, one short conversation we had and is about societies that have chaos and societies that have order. And only chaos creates great things. And a society like Singapore, which is a great society to live in, but from a standpoint of entrepreneurs or great companies, there is not much to talk about. So if you can just elaborate on that particular thought, because you keep saying that investment finance is all about psychology, philosophy, and it revolves around that.
So actually I had spoken in Patil as well. We say, if you have to say chaos, we say jungle raj hai. इधर जंगल राज चलता है. But जंगल राज में जंगली राज चलता है, कोई भगवान नहीं चलता है. Sorry, there is no authority, there is no government, there is no parents.
It's nature.
It's nature, fully running by its own ecosystem. It is where the rivers flow, the birds cheep, the peacocks dance, the deers go out. They're not afraid of the tiger. The tiger will only kill how much it wants. It's not killing and aggrandizing wealth like this one, the billionaires. In fact, you were to say that if like the amount of wealth that we amass as an individual, if the bananas were to be amassed by a monkey, it will be part of an anthropology study and all that as to why he's doing it completely odd monkey out.
Yeah.
So it runs at a very perfect this thing. You had the most beautiful of the flowers, the air is clean. Most people from cities go and relax in the jungle and the nature to get away from the stress. And compared to that, when we actually look at societies, and even Singapore where I stay as well, there is a compound, there is a gate, there is CCTV, there is security guard, there is a private lift, and then there is 2 doors, then there is a bedroom door, then there is a safe there. The safe is some service. The safe meaning the safe where safe locker, sorry. Right. And the safe locker also has a code as well. So which is a jungle raj and which is not. और गिदड़ की मौत आती है तो वो जंगल की सॉरी ये शहर की तरफ भागता है. So we actually compared to jungle, we actually living more insecure life in a very organized society.
Yeah.
So a jungle is where wildest of things are happening. The flowers are more beautiful as well. You see the most wildest of the birds, the most wildest of the animals as well, in full glory. Very, very beautiful, very well magnificent as well. So that kind of society or that kind of an environment will create those individuals on both sides. You can be, and Elon Musk on this side, you can be a popular discoverer on this side as well. So, but if you have something in between, it will be the medium. It will be Doctor 2 only. It cannot be a Doctor 1, it cannot be Doctor 3. That way. So, also when you look at between, so we say startups. Then we say startups, tech companies, MNCs, and the founder-led companies. If you see, the success is actually inverted. Is because your startups are wild
and chaotic.
And that is why they find a success. So as long as when you look at even Jeff Bezos, he says, I wish it to be day zero always.
Yeah.
The reason why is that we want to be a startup. So if as long and somehow this, the Magnificent Seven had tried to be day zero. The more day zero you are, the more they are rising higher in the multiple. But they bring in more bureaucracy and all that, they'll become an MNC or they'll be a tech company. And they will start to slide down. Why? So let me say that many companies are having their own LLMs as well. Many banks have their own LLM as well. But the quality of those LLMs is not as good as what these companies are churning out. Sure. It can never be because you don't have that in your DNA to do and that kind of a model. Yeah, BMW and Mercedes cannot produce an electric car that is produced by a Tesla or someone who is purely an electric car manufacturer. So you have to have that culture and element to be of doing that product or that mindset. And that will come only from most wildest of the things.
So what you said about Jungle Raj and taking again a leaf from what you said and learning from it, can we say that जंगल राज ऐसी एक जगह है अनलाइक योर सिटी और सिर्फ जंगल राज में ही एक अंगुली माल वाल्मीकि बन सकता है.
Yes, the most and that is a undefined input is the undefined output. The one who is the Anguliman will only become the Valmiki. I cannot go to Howard and become Valmiki. Not at all. Not possible.
वो पावर सिर्फ जंगल में है.
वो पावर सिर्फ जंगल में. और अदर से no Ivy League has produced a great saint or a great philosopher as well. I haven't seen anyone except there have been some great entrepreneurs, but not a great saint or a great philosopher who can change the world.
So 5 minutes back, what I was talking, that this one conversation that 8 minutes, that I really love that conversation. I think good part is we automatically got to that where you said Howard will or Wharton will not produce a great sentient philosopher. And the topic is सिद्धांत और तर्क. एक तरह की बेड़ियाँ होते हैं.
हाँ, yeah.
And I just love that conversation. It just broke whatever I had learned till date, where we talk about principles, where we talk about logic. So Siddhant means principles,
Yeah.
Tark means logic. And when that conversation was happening, मुझे तर्क समझा था कि चलो लॉजिकली नहीं सोचना चाहिए, बिकॉज अनकन्वेंशनल सोचोगे, chaotic चीज़ें में रहोगे तो अच्छी चीज़ें कर पाओगे. बट सिद्धांत यू सेड एक तरह की बेड़िया होती है, क्योंकि वो सिद्धांत किसने सेट की है, हु इज दैट. इट जस्ट ब्लू मी अवे. आई रियली वांट दैट द व्यूअर्स हियर दोज थॉट्स फ्रॉम यू.
So सिद्धांत क्या होता है कि सिद्धांत हैज टेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. Okay, this but time changes every day. आप क्रिकेटर हो और सिद्धांत आपका ये है कि बॉल जमीन से ही मारना है. So you will not make a career in cricket today.
In today's time.
Today's सिद्धांत is कि भाई हवा में मारना है. In fact, when you look at 1996 World Cup, the earlier सिद्धांत was कि लास्ट के 10 ओवर में मारना है one day में. And then this Jay Surya and Kaluwitana came and they started hitting in the first 15 overs. And that is what got them the World Cup.
Right.
So Siddhant has value, has a test of time. But I cannot repeat the same formula for my next success. This has never happened in life.
Okay. But, certain things, even I asked you at that point in time that theft, cheating, lying.
Those are not Siddhant.
They are?
Oh, Siddhant thodi. They are not this thing.
So they are values.
They are elements of life.
Elements of life. Okay, so they are the non-negotiable.
Yeah. वाल्मीकि क्या, वाल्मीकि तो फिर मारता ही था ना. सॉरी,
अंगुली
मारता ही था.
हाँ.
और लेट मी से गौतम बुद्धा is the other side. He was a prince lost in everything, all vices of the world.
Okay.
He wanted to become the Buddha.
Okay, I didn't know this part.
You don't know this part?
No, I don't know about this part.
So when Gautam Buddha was born, his father had called 3 astrologers to predict his future. And 2 refused out of fear. The third one, then the king said that you have to tell me. But then there's no choice. So he said, if you don't get agree, I will tell. So he said that either he will conquer the world or he will conquer the world. He'll be the king of the world, or he will conquer the world, but he will have begging bowl in his hand.
Okay.
तो ये रहता है छोटा राजा, तो ये बोलता है कि नहीं राजा अपना राजा का राजा होना चाहिए. नहीं, he conquer humanity. Sorry, he'll conquer humanity.
Either will be the king of the world or conquer humanity.
हाँ. But he'll have begging bowl. तो वो राजा होता है, राजा को राजा ही चाहिए होता है. तो he said, understand. नहीं, he says the other 2 were they still right? They said yes. That's why we were scared to tell you. So he said, now tell me the formula that he'd become the king and not the beggar. तो वो बोलता है कि उसको ऐसे put him in all vices of life that he will never think of becoming a beggar. So this is all folklore. I'm not sure whether it but it gives a lot of insights as well.
It's our perspective.
हाँ. So even before he used to rise, whatever dead flowers used to get cut before he opens his palace windows and all that as well. So he has to only see life, nothing else. He has to see only luxury. And that is how he was 14 or 18 until he decided to. But one fine day, he starts. First he sees a sick man. Then he asks कि ये क्या है? तो वो sick है. तो बोलता है मैं भी होऊंगा क्या? तो बोलता है हाँ अभी होंगे. Then he sees a dead man. ये क्या है? तो उसको बोला बाबा नहीं है. Even the charity is told not to tell him about all these things of life and all that. But he says that so he says whether I'll also die. Yes, everyone who has born has to die. And he was going and he just turns the chariot back to the palace. Next morning he left the palace to become a Buddha. But before leaving the palace and becoming a Buddha, one thing he didn't do, which allowed him to become a Buddha. What was that?
Didn't carry his belongings, gave away his clothes, something on that sort.
बाप को नहीं पूछा.
अच्छा. Okay.
So a lot of the jungle element comes from being a rebel. So if you live in a very documented society, you'll never be a rebel. You'll never be unconventional. अगर वो बाप को पूछता कि मैं बुद्धा बनूं क्या, तो वो एक झापड़ मारता हूँ तो अंदर चले जा भी. And he didn't actually even ask his wife as well, because he didn't want to he wanted to be Buddha at that point of time.
Okay.
And obviously he's become Buddha. But it took 12 years to attain Nirvana. And why he took 12 years is the same question that you asked me, ki, how to memorize, how to remember things and all that. So 12 years he actually took to unlearn whatever was already there in his mind, all these biases and all that, etc. वो जब खोपड़ी खाली हुई, then he attained the Nirvana. And
Just to, play a devil's advocate, wouldn't that be a new bias that is getting created by unlearning the old biases?
Meaning what he said as a Nirvana. I'm just coming to that.
Okay, sorry.
But when you look at Nirvana is when the entire when you left everything behind and all that. But if you see from a humanity impact, of all the people we speak about and all that, there's no one who has had the most impact as Buddha.
Buddha, yeah.
Except for few religions, even if you are from X religion, you are still not, meaning you still have a Buddha in your house.
Yeah.
It is that kind of messaging that Gautam Buddha has. And Nirvichar, Shunya, Aparigraha, and all those things, when you actually apply in your business model as well, I'm sure the business models will show an exponentiality that will be unimaginable as well.
Aparigraha मतलब?
Meaning limitless.
Limitless. Okay.
हम ये करते हैं ना, हम लिमिट लगाते हैं.
हाँ.
When you say margin है, मुझे इतनी मार्जिन चाहिए, तो margin, how do you know what is the margin? Can be more than infinite as well.
Right.
तो which is the same story as एक शहर में एक kingdom में राजा बोलता है कि I will gift a certain part of the kingdom to anyone who maps the most largest part of the kingdom.
Okay.
तो काफ़ी लोग 6 महीने बाद लोग लगे रहते. फिर एक दिन उसमें क्या रहता है कि वो थोड़ा आलसी भी रहता है, बट वो क्या करता है कि चलो एक दिन अभी 6 महीने ख़त्म हो गए, तो ही स्टार्ट्स डूइंग दैट. सो ही बेसिकली डज व्हाट ही डज अ स्मॉल सर्कल एंड ही बर्न्स इट डाउन एज वेल. एंड वैसे भी थोड़ा उसका रेपुटेशन भी ऐसा रहता है कि इज क्राइंग, मतलब बेवकूफ़ है ऑल दैट. तो नेक्स्ट डे व्हेन द राजा कम्स आफ्टर 6 मंथ की सिंह, देखते हैं किसका सबसे बड़ा है, तो वो बोलता है मेरा बड़ा है सबसे. तो एवरीबडी स्टार्ट्स लाफिंग, लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव मैप्ड इट एंड ऑल दैट. तो वो बताता है कि ऐसा ही हैड मेड स्मॉल सर्कल, स्मॉल वुड एंड ही हैज बर्न्ड इट डाउन एज वेल. तो ये क्या है, तो इतना छोटा है. तो बोला कि मैंने सोचा कि कितना बड़ा हो सकता है, और मैंने देखा कि काफ़ी लोगों का काफ़ी बड़ा है, तो मैंने सबसे बड़ा बनाया है. मैंने दीवार तोड़ दी.
Okay.
हाँ. So it's a very human element to put limit on ourselves.
Yes.
If you become limitless, the zero, you can achieve much more things. So when you say one success, there are many successes in people's life. You can actually touch many successes in your life, as long as you don't limit yourself to one Nobel Prize.
हाँ.
नोबेल प्राइज मिलने के बाद लोग क्या करते हैं, उधर से उधर भाषण देते, इधर भाषण देते, उधर भाषण देते. मैं भी दे रहा हूँ आज, बट you limit yourself by what you achieved.
What you achieve. So you feel in some sense principles are actually come from a place of comfort or ego or arrogance?
Yeah.
What is it? Ego, arrogance, comfort?
Ego, arrogance से आते हैं principles.
Okay. कि मैं ऐसा हूँ, मैं ऐसा हूँ.
Scientific principles are principles. Otherwise, all others are biases in life.
Biases in which are made up.
Yeah, made up.
Understood. Another conceptually always you talked about when we talked about some of the people who created indifference to the society, Gautam Buddha, they always have a softness in them. You said Nirmal also. But if I look from a very conventional standpoint, in the world that we are living in, where we have four big countries being led by very strong men,
Yeah.
and a lot of people look up to them,
Yeah.
but there is something which is very different.
So inherently, we are. There's a very human element. Yeah, let me say that purely from hunger point of view, a wild animal will attack only when it is hungry. When we are not saying whether we are pricked it or disturbed it and all that. Will attack only when it is hungry. This domesticated animal is the only one. One is hungry, but the most dangerous one whose stomach is full.
Yeah.
Okay.
कि और कुछ करने की है.
आज कुछ करने के लिए है नहीं है. So this element is the biggest element of the society. That is, say, maybe 95-99%. That's the way we are grown. Our societies are like that as well. But that one Buddha or one with the great conscience are the people who create much more. One is equal to 99 or one is equal to more than 100 as well. And whenever there have been great leaders, their conscience has transcended humanity and has created many more things than what we would have not seen. So like when Einstein will look at this thing, Einstein is quoted in the field of investing as well. But a lot of it is, his contribution is towards science and to philosophy as well. But when you look at Einstein, and we tend to blame for the nuclear bomb today, but I think in the next few years, a lot of the power will actually be nuclear power. Yeah. But one of the big element of the arrival of nuclear, this bomb was that it stopped the Third World War. Many wars haven't happened until now, because of nuclear deterrence.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this phase goes and we actually see much more nuclear power. Right. More nuclear power will mean more efficient power, more sustainable power, which will take care of the needs of the humanity and create whatever we are relying today on, the coal and the hydrogen and the hydropowers and all that. So it will be used for that effect as well. So this is the impact of someone who has a great conscience. Beyond what that particular person is as well.
Right.
So we don't need to have 100, even one is enough.
One is enough.
सिर्फ एक बंदा काफी है.
एक बंदा काफी. वो you always say जीवन एक लीला है यार. You refer to Krishna Bhagwan. So एक कृष्ण भगवान काफी थे for Pandavas to win the battle and help them.
As well as meaning a little bit of approach towards life is Leela, meaning Krishna Leela. है जो है कि it is a fun. I don't think so in Hindu deity there is anyone who has the fun element is part of his the whole characterization. And the Baal one is the most one. Whether it's Makkan Chor or you say etc. Of all the photos, that one is the most which looks very appealing as well. So it's the fun element to life as well as to work is which actually creates a lot of the output as well. We tend to take our work, our life too seriously as well, and we tend to lose out on that what life has to offer as well. I mean, look at say America as a nation as well, which is only 300 years old. It doesn't have a legacy or parampara, tradition, rituals, principles, and all that. Clean slate has obviously the white people, but I think in my own experience it is the whole vibrancy to America has been because of the Latinos and the Africans, because the lot of the fun element comes from this culture. I mean, you actually look at, I've been in Los Angeles I was there in August for nearly 2 weeks, and you see why Hollywood is because of the kind of cultural element that the Thoda Leela and the fun brings to the, whether it is work or whether it is life, whether it is your family and all that, you'll realize the happiness because everything. मुझे ये स्मिथ ने भी ये भेजा है इंस्टाग्राम. I'm not sure whether he has sent it to you, of someone who was only face working, rest everything paralyzed, and he actually walks out of the office 6 to 9 months after that. He walks out of the hospital completely after numerous surgeries and all that. Is the reason why he has a laugh.
Yeah.
So काफ़ी जो हम चीज़ करते हैं एक हमें ऊर्जा चाहिए. And that urja is something that comes from the leela part, the fun part. If the sun is not supposed to rise tomorrow, the world is dead.
Yeah.
The whole why we say we need to be vitamin D surplus is because it's the sun. The vitamin D largely comes from sun. Now we are taking tablets and injection as well. But this energy is what creates our daily life. The enthusiasm we bring to the work, our play, whatever, the exuberance.
Yeah.
And most things have been created in this world is out of enthusiasm and exuberance,
Right.
not out of seriousness.
Yeah.
That way.
All great things come from a bit of enthusiasm.
Yes. If you are vitamin D deficient, you will feel depressed.
Yes.
I mean, you can try it out as well.
ये क्यों trying that? But I mean, every time there is a conversation with you, there are so many different things, and the kind of examples keep on the same thing also keep on.
Yeah. When you look at Jensen Huang as well, he says, I check everyone's salaries as well. Not to control it, but to see that everyone gets it as well. You know, that he brings in that kind of energy to his business model. That is why he's $4 trillion plus. There's $700 billion difference between the first and the second company.
Yeah. Energy, any which ways, you keep saying that thoughts are the biggest.
Yeah. Thoughts are energy.
Thoughts are energy.
अगर आपके थॉट्स में कपट है, मैंने द ग्रेटेस्ट एग्जांपल दैट आई कैन गिव अस कपिल देव है, उसके थॉट में था ही ना, बस मम्मी ने बोला है कि वर्ल्ड कप जीत के आने का है, बस मम्मी के लिए वर्ल्ड कप जीतना है.
Yeah. It's like we've all been accustomed to that. रिलायंस का फोन में जब सहवाग की माँ, आई थिंक कपिल देव की माँ शायद से वो भी ज्यादा.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the entire when you see upsets in sports, the whole upsets happen. The David and Goliath happened only because that day the David thinks कि भाई मैं जीतने वाला.
Yeah. He was that belief.
Yes. Zero doubt.
Last few set of quick questions. And I mean, I would, you know, I'm very greedy and I would love to talk to you on and on because I learn so much.
Vitamin D ज़्यादा है तेरा.
You are the sun. आपसे लेता हूँ मैं, तो ज़रूरत है मेरे लिए, नहीं तो मैं डिप्रेस हो जाता. But yeah, in the paucity of time, quickly, these are some questions prepared by the team. Yeah, it is all thought process, and this one part I'm really excited about because थोड़ा अलग सोचते हैं. If each chakra represented a type of asset class, how would you map them? For example, would equity be the solar plexus or the crown chakra?
Equity will be here, the Ajna chakra. The multiple for that equity will be solar plexus.
Okay.
Because equity is a very powerful concept. But though it can apply to companies, it can apply to a person. It is what you create as an equity, even as a person. It is, so a lot of people don't take loans but take equity, thinking dena nahi hai wapas.
Right.
But the moment you disappoint on people who have given you equity, they're not able to raise equity again. And so it is as powerful as a concept.
Yes.
But if you really build a lot of goodwill, etc., that equity helps you. And in fact, we have to say that personally, if you're in distress, and you don't get a helping hand, means आपका कोई equity नहीं है.
Equity नहीं है. Yeah.
So it is here, the third eye. The multiple of that equity is the solar
plexus. Suppose the Bhagavad Gita had a chapter on investing. What do you think Lord Krishna's advice to Arjuna would be?
Karma karo. Keep investing.
Keep investing.
As simple as that. फल की चिंता ही मत करो.
Karma was one thing I wanted to talk about, but ठीक है चलो next time. Podcast 2 करें. I think this is your first appearance.
Yeah.
I think second भी हमारे साथ ही.
Okay, ठीक है.
You compared yoga and corporations in your writing.
हाँ.
If yoga asanas were a business model, if in which one would be a headstand and which one would be a shavasana?
Amazon headstand is abundant lot of business models,
Okay.
and Shavasana will be Apple.
Okay. Nice.
In Apple, you will never see people getting hired in draws, people getting fired in draws, doing a big bang acquisition. They used to do big bang launch under this one, Steve Jobs. That is gone as well. People say the last one, iPhone 17, was the most boring of all the launches as well. But the stock is up, I think, 10% since the launch.
Yeah, because the way the people are flocking to buy one is crazy.
Yeah.
The craze is not diminished.
Craze is not diminished.
I think over the course of time, sir, do you think both the individuals are required? You need something like a Steve Jobs to break that stereotype, to create something, and then you need at one point in time a maintenance person like Tim Cook who can keep incrementally doing better things.
When actually you look at, meaning exuberance is needed, but a lot of people actually, I would say it was $600 million only when Steve Jobs left. Today is $4 trillion.
Right.
So it cannot be just incremental.
Yeah.
There are many things that
Happened under the carpet.
Meaning only thing is he's not come out and trumpeted ki humne. Do you think airports were visualized without the wires?
True.
This one watch, nobody thought that this will cause a 20% slide in the Swiss watch luxury index. Nobody thought that this thing. There are many things.
Health point of view.
No, the security system is military grade.
Right.
So that, meaning I can go, I don't know, let's just forget. There are a lot of innovative things that actually he has done, but they don't seem to because only this thing is there.
Yeah.
The services revenue are 60% or 50% of Apple today now.
Right.
The performance, everything, etc. But आपका पहले battery भी ये होता था, used to drain faster as well. Now they fixed that as well. You can exchange your phone. There are many things that he has done, but only because he doesn't appear to be as flamboyant. We tend to think he is only an incremental guy.
Right.
That company cannot be near $4 trillion just with being incremental.
So it's a perception.
It's a perception, yeah.
Okay. Let's make it fun. If you had to write a haiku on investing, this is a Japanese word, what would it mean?
Investing.
Acha. ठीक है. What's one financial myth that deserves...
Investing when I saying not money, investing in all aspects of business.
Yeah. In life also.
In life as well. But your customer service will also be as excellent as your customer sales as well.
Yeah.
Your product will be as value as your services. Your employees should also have the same. The vendor ecosystem should also be this thing of high quality as well. So all of those things, it is only then you can create the great companies. You can just cannot create a front-end one.
Front-end. What's one financial myth that deserves to be busted with a philosophical twist?
One financial myth. A lot of people tend to invest into companies with a dividend growth model and all that. But when you look at dividend yield, they are actually lower than the bank yield as well,
right,
on the deposits, etc. So how can a dividend yield drive your investing decision when you are actually having this thing? Meaning when your yield is subpar, you can actually get a much better capital growth in your investment.
Yeah.
The capital gain on your investment than what you will gain through this thing. So many, instead of declaring a dividend, if you can actually make something from a growth point of, or it can be, making your employees happy or making your customer service much better, building an LLM model, etc., seeing the next one. I think the growth in your capital will be much bigger than what a dividend yield will give.
Okay.
It is same as this thing. Once you start giving dividend, you have to keep giving dividend. ये साल नहीं दिया तो बोलेगा कि लास्ट साल ये दिया नहीं बोल के स्टॉक पिटेगा वगैरह. इट इज सेम एज डज इक्विटी गिव्स दिवाली पार्टी.
We do Diwali puja. No.
पूजा नो पार्टी. घर पे देते हो पार्टी.
नहीं.
विजय मल्ल्या देता था पार्टी.
अच्छा नहीं दे रहा हूँ.
किसी ने बोला नहीं कि नहीं यार तब दिया था अच्छा आदमी था. अरे ये अभी नहीं दे रहा है. So it is like that.
Understand.
So what I would say is invest for growth, not for financial
Security.
financial engineering.
Engineering. True. If you had to explain compound interest without numbers but only through poetry or philosophy, how would you do it? Compounding एक लीला है.
Compounding. Yeah, repeat the question again.
If you had to explain compound interest without numbers but only through poetry or philosophy, how would you do it?
Zero.
Zero.
Be a zero, you'll compound automatically.
What Peter Thiel said.
Yeah.
Understood. Be a zero.
Be a zero.
Okay. I think it's close to 2.5 hours.
Okay.
But every time I just enjoy sitting with you, and somehow whenever you come here, I take that kind of a time. I'm going to owe you forever.
I'm very sure Peter Thiel will write a book 1 to 0.
1 to 0.
The book is 0 to 1.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a few years down the line he'll write a book which is 1 to 0.
Why so?
When you realize you come back, it is 0.
Yeah. True.
Of all the things that Einstein did and everything, he finally said, in next life I'll become a plumber. That way.
That way. No, but I mean, whatever he's done is great. Peter Thiel that way.
Yeah, exactly. But what I would say is that once you realize what you created, etc., and if you, if you reach, I feel every person who reaches pinnacle of success, there is huge element of life and destiny into it. Of course, you have worked hard, but a lot of people work hard as well.
Absolutely.
But very few are chosen who reach that. तो प्रज्ञा और प्रमोदिता, करुणा, ये हर एक में आना चाहिए. Then only you can actually round it up to saying that you really achieved or you arrived in your success. हाँ, ये अगर ये 3 elements you don't reach after reaching success. Means you're not reached there. Pragya is enlightenment.
Okay.
Pramodita is gratitude. And Karuna is empathy.
Empathy. Very important. So enlightenment, gratitude and empathy.
Yeah.
Are 3 important.
That should actually define if you have achieved success in life.
Right. And I think, ironically, the last 2, gratitude and empathy, are also ladders to success.
Yes, obviously. That is why I'm saying 0 is the compounding.
Right.
If the 0 is
Shunya.
Shunya is meaning like egoless.
Egoless.
If you stay in egoless, it's you are unnecessarily putting a limit on what you want to achieve.
Again, so I feel आपको मिलके प्रज्ञा हो गया है. Every time it's enlightenment.
Okay.
And every time I learn so many different things. And most importantly, as much as I learn about investing, but it's about life. It's about
life. The one aspect I will teach you, as in summary, is there's no difference between, you actually don't need to be a financial wizard or a biscuit. You don't need to do an MBA to be an investor.
Right.
Be a good person, you'll become a good investor. You will invest in good people, you'll invest in good companies, you'll invest your time in a good manner as well. But that first step itself is actually missing from that point of view. So and life mimics, investing and life is mirrored to each other. So your approach to life will also decide the way you will invest as well.
Right.
अगर लाइफ में आप शून्य में रहोगे तो यू वांट टू फोमो इन इन्वेस्टिंग.
Right. It's the same thought process.
Same thought process. And if you are zero here, you'll be able to see the the green birds, the one that are budding.
Buddy.
You'll be able to see.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see. You'll be able to hear. You'll be able to find out and invest.
Don't पाओगे उसको. Just you'll be able to discover that.
You'll be able to discover.
Right.
हर एक के पास होता है. The only thing is people are not able to see. That is this thing.
Yeah.
The learnings or etc. They're actually blind you from not seeing it.
True.
Once it's taken, I will be able to see that.
That is where I feel I'm lucky. Because आशीष पाटिल का एक्सेस बहुत लोगों के पास था, बट बहुत कम लोगों ने मेरे इतना यूज़ किया है. Is what I assume.
You only need.
No, I'm greedy. So as I was saying, I want more and more of that. You mentioned a lot of places serendipity, and yes, because of my co-founder Smith, I got a chance to meet you. And at that point in time, जब बोला था कि अरे नालंदा आशीष पाटिल, अच्छा सुना नहीं है ये ना. And then
Smith.
नहीं मैंने तो पुलक का सुना है, आनंद श्रीधरन का सुना है, बट आशीष पाटिल का नाम नहीं सुना है. अच्छा नालंदा, पर नालंदा का नाम सुना है. And then I got really excited by that. And then when I met you, after that, there's been no looking back by the grace of God. So serendipity got me to meet you. But today, if I have to put one word to our meeting and whatever I've learned is blessing. Without that, मैं काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें सीखता नहीं लाइफ में और इन्वेस्टिंग में, which has ultimately I wish and it helps the team, the investors at Equity. So a lot of credit will go to you.
No, not to me. This is more to you, and I'll tell you the reason why. She may know and understand. I think I told you before, but for the sake of podcast, I'll repeat again. तो हमारे महाराष्ट्रियन में वो होता है, महालक्ष्मी कथा होता है. दिवाली के टाइम पे ऑन द लक्ष्मी पूजन डे वी रीड इट. लॉट ऑफ पीपल रीड इट every Thursday, or they read it in the Margashish month of the Hindu calendar. But a lot of people read it very mechanically. But the entire gist of those Mahalakshmi stories is that she will always come in a disguise.
Yeah.
And she'll only bless those who are at that point of time egoless and arrogance free. And that is where the true revelation happens of the goddess of wealth and prosperity. And as long as you are there because of that, not because of me, okay. And as well as you will see much more as long as you follow that particular zero state and those three involuntary and voluntary situations we spoke about.
Yeah.
In a break.
That I follow.
Okay, so it is like that. Meaning that's the key to the success in life. A lot of people get lost into very early success.
It also depends on the opposite person wanting to share. You always say that एक नदी एक छोटे से स्प्राउट से बनती है.
Yeah.
And from a very small.
Yes.
But it is the land also who has to give up that and let the thing sprout. So I feel that actually you allow that, and you allow that access to you, that I'm able to learn so many things. Otherwise, it would not have been possible.
Why the 70% of the landmass is ocean?
No idea.
No idea. Because the sea level is lower than the river level.
Okay.
That is able to absorb every river.
River, yes.
और उसमें से कितना भी पानी निकालो उतना ही रहता है. So because it's at the lower level, that is why it's so big.
Wow, amazing. Always a pleasure. I think we end बोलने के बाद ही 10 minutes stretch हो गया.
अच्छा कितनी?
I don't mind, but in the interest of time for you, thank you so much, sir, for spending these wonderful 3 hours with me. not just to me but to the entire team. Ashish, Patil really means a lot, that word. And every time any learning comes from you.
More because of you than me.
Sorry?
More because of you than me.
नहीं,
I think
मैं तो
I need to pay you for my brand ambassador.
first, free of cost. I can do it. But I do control C, control V. मैं बहुत बार बोलता हूँ. आप जो सिखाते हो मैं यहाँ आके.
Good, you're following Dr. One philosophy.
Yes, I do for sure. With a full clean conscience. With attributing full no plagiarism. कि ये आशीष सर ने है, मैं वहाँ से चुरा के बोल रहा हूँ. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to know you since 2.5 years, and I would keep wanting to learning from you and keep knowing you and keep being with you and associating with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So, I can go on and say more, but I think everything will fall short.
Yeah, we have to keep something for the next one as well.
No, in terms of impact and contribution that you have had personally to my life.
Yeah.
Yes, just one last thing. Me and my wife were talking yesterday, and she said that it's so amazing in the last 2.5 years. It's just been 2.5 years you have met him, but how integral he has become a part of our life. So that's the testimony that even the family recognizes that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
On that note, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.